Hey guys, Gautami here. So the video that you're going to see after this is going to be my session on communication skills. And honestly, during the session, I did not realize that I was making so many grammatical mistakes. Either my words are wrong somewhere or my pronunciations are wrong. And believe me, that is not how I normally speak. I think it was because it was an impromptu session and there were students asking me questions on the spot. So I just got a bit nervous, I think. That is why these mistakes happen, but I will make sure that it does not happen again, and that is something that I will troubleshoot in the next sessions to come. So please bear it with it for now, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Cheers.
ठीक है. Hello everybody. My name is Gautami. I think you saw an introductory video of mine. बहुत lame था, but never mind. I am currently doing my masters in the University of Auckland, New Zealand. So मैं अभी न्यूजीलैंड में हूँ. यहाँ पे शाम के 5:30 बजे है. And I'm doing my masters in environmental management. Previously an IT engineer, switched to a different field because of my interest and lack of interest in IT basically. Job नहीं करना था. Don't judge me. But मैंने change कर दिया. And I have been Kushal's friend for a long time now. अभी हम लोग साथ में engineering में थे. So since then we have been in touch. And I thought maybe if not in IT, मैं आपकी communication में help कर सकती हूँ. So I decided to help him out for intern labs with respect to communication. So हम लोग start करेंगे अभी आज का session. Primarily what I feel is कि communication में एक तो ये मुझे बहुत weird लग रहा है. मैं बहुत honestly बताऊंगी कि मैं अकेले मतलब वीडियो ऑन करके बकबक कर रही हूँ. दिस इज रियली नॉट माई स्टाइल. तो मतलब अब अगर आप लोगों को प्रॉब्लम ना हो, इफ अ फ्यू ऑफ यू विल बी ओके विथ इट, तो मैं चाहूंगी कि आप अपना ऑडियो वीडियो मतलब ऑन रखे सो दैट वी कैन हैव अ गुड कॉन्वर्सेशन. एंड दिस इज वेरी इनफॉर्मल. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग जो टेक्निकल सेशंस में आप करते हो कि जिसपे मतलब आपको कोई बता रहा है कि ये दिस एंड दैट ये सारे फैक्ट्स है. वी आर जस्ट गोना हैव लाइक रैंडम कॉन्वर्सेशंस. कैसे बात करनी है, तो आप अगर बात करोगे तो मुझे समझ में आएगा कि किस कौन सी चीजों पे हम फोकस कर सकते हैं. इट विल बी अ लॉट इजियर फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. सो आप में से अगर नो प्रेशर, इश्यूज कोई नहीं है. अगर आप में से कोई थोड़ा कंफर्टेबल है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तो आप ऑडियो वीडियो ऑन करके मेरे साथ बात कर सकते हो. अदरवाइज चैट बॉक्स है ही, सो नो वरीज. सो बेसिकली कम्युनिकेशन इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है? फर्स्ट बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली हम लोग को बात करना जरूरी है. वी आर सोशल एनिमल्स. तो हम नहीं ऐसे कर सकते कि बात किए बगैर हमें जॉब मिल जाएगी. अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट इज नॉट द केस. एवरी टाइम you get into a formal conversation, anytime you're preparing for an interview, anytime you have to project yourself to an interviewer and tell them what your good skills are and what your positive sides are, you need to make sure that you convey it properly. तो आप अगर उस हिसाब से बात करोगे तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल भी बढ़ेगा. आप जितना अपने आप को अच्छे से पोर्ट्रे करोगे उतना आपका वैल्यू बढ़ेगा. लेट्स बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. मतलब हर चीज का भी वैल्यू होता है, तो अपनी भी वैल्यू होती है. वैल्यू के हिसाब से अपना हायरिंग वगैरह होता है इंडिया में तो एटलीस्ट. सो दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. इसलिए कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दो चीजें इन्वॉल्व है मेन जो मैं बताना चाहूंगी बिफोर आई स्टार्ट विद द क्वेश्चंस. Whenever you're going for an interview, please make sure that you don't have any preconceived notions in your mind. Everybody does their research. आप रिसर्च करके जाते हो कंपनी के बारे में, कौन सी चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए, नहीं होनी चाहिए. दैट्स रियली गुड टू गो. बट आई वुड से कभी भी अज्यूम नहीं करना है कि इस तरह की कंपनी तो मुझे ऐसे प्रेजेंट करना चाहिए. ऑलवेज गो विद द फ्लो. आप सामने जब इंटरव्यूअर को देखोगे तो उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज देख के, उसको समझ के आपको बहुत सारी चीजें समझ में आएगी कि ओके, सपोज अभी सामने वाला इंटरव्यूअर थोड़ा सा स्ट्रिक्ट टाइप का है, सो यू नो हाउ टू मोल्ड योर सेल्फ इन दैट वे. इफ ही और शी इज अ कैजुअल पर्सन, इज नॉट वेरी फॉर्मल विथ यू, यू कैन मोल्ड योर सेल्फ इन दैट वे कि मुझे अभी इनफॉर्मली बात करनी है या फिर कैजुअली बात करनी है. सेकेंड ऑफ ऑल, जो नेट पे वीडियोस वगैरह दिखाते हैं आपको कि कैसे इंटरव्यूज जाते हैं या फिर कैसे बोलना चाहिए, एआईबी की वीडियोस वगैरह, प्लीज उस हिसाब से अपने दिमाग को ट्रेन मत करो. एआईबी सिर्फ एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए है. इंटरव्यूज रियल लाइफ में ऐसे नहीं होते. सो यू कांट बी लाइक अरे मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती है, क्यों ये इंटरव्यूअर मुझसे इंग्लिश की एक्सपेक्टेशन कर रहा है, नहीं आती मुझे इंग्लिश, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. ये सब देखने के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, दिमाग में सोचने के लिए भी काफी बढ़िया है. बट लेट्स फेस इट, इंटरव्यू में आप जब जाओगे तो यू हैव टू बी रिस्पेक्टफुल. थोड़े बहुत रूल्स और गाइडलाइंस होते हैं जो हमें फॉलो करने ही पड़ते हैं, सो देयर इज नथिंग वी कैन डू अबाउट इट अनफॉर्चुनेटली। सो ये सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखो और फिर अपने आप को इंटरव्यू के लिए प्रिपेयर करो। देयर इज नो नीड टू बी नर्वस बट देन ऑल्सो देयर इज नो नीड टू बी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट। दोनों चीज़ों का अच्छे से बैलेंस मेंटेन करके हम लोग को आगे जाना होता है। So we'll get started with the questions now because मेरे पास as such जैसे communication के कोई tips नहीं है। This is all basically going to be about what your questions are. आपको किस तरह से अपने आप को mold करना है या फिर आपको कौन से problems आपने अब तक face किए हैं। तो if we talk about it in that manner, it will be easier for us to go ahead with it. ठीक है, so let's get started. Tell me something about yourself. This was the first question that was asked. ठीक है, very generic. हर एक इंटरव्यू में ऑलमोस्ट होता ही है. टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ. First step, I think, and every one of you must have heard this. Do not repeat what is written in your CV. The interviewer already has your CV in front of him or her, and they have seen it. So they don't want to hear about you, about your work experience or your education. So if you're going to start with your name, hi, my name is ABC, तो वो नाम है आपका ऑलरेडी सीवी पे. दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव कॉल्ड यू इनसाइड फॉर एन इंटरव्यू. सो दैट यू शुड नेवर डू दैट. कभी भी अपने नाम के साथ साथ स्टार्ट मत करो. ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट थिंग्स दैट आर नॉट मेंशन्ड इन द सीवी. और इसका मतलब अगेन अगेन आई एम सेइंग, ये बात भी नहीं है कि आप मतलब जो मन में है वो बात कर दोगे. मेरे घर में 4 लोग हैं, मेरी एक बहन है, मेरा भाई है, मैं बचपन में क्रिकेट खेलता था, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. नो, ऐसे भी नहीं होना चाहिए इंटरव्यू, बिकॉज इट बिकम्स वेरी अनफॉर्मल. सो सॉरी, बिकम्स वेरी इनफॉर्मल. तो ऐसे बात भी नहीं करनी चाहिए कि इंटरव्यूअर को लगे यार ये बहुत बंदा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो रहा है या फिर ऐसी कुछ बातें. सो मेक श्योर दैट यू फाइंड अ बैलेंस बिटवीन इट. व्हाट आई मीन बाय व्हेन आई से दैट डोंट मेंशन थिंग्स दैट आर on your CV, start off with how you decided to end up in this field. इस तरह से बात करो. सो लेट्स से सपोज अभी आप बोल रहे हो कि आई हैव ग्रेजुएटेड फ्रॉम सिंहगढ़ कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग. मेरी पर्सनल बात है. सो आई डोंट वांट टू स्टार्ट विद आई कंप्लीटेड माय इंजीनियरिंग इन सिंहगढ़ कॉलेज. I'm not going to start with that. I will be like, okay, so it's been like around what 2 to 3 months since I've graduated. ऐसे चीजों को स्टार्ट करो. Let's see if you're graduated right now, like 2 to 3 months ago. Say कि I have been graduated 2 to 3 months before. I'm actively looking for jobs in this field. So and so are my fields of interest. अगर आप डेटा एनालिटिक्स में हो या फिर साइबर सिक्योरिटी में हो, जो भी फील्ड्स आपके इंटरेस्ट के फील्ड्स है, start off with those sentences. Then go a little more informal and start off with, apart from being so technically involved and being so focused on my career, I also like cooking, और आई लाइक बेकिंग, आई लाइक पेंटिंग, आई लाइक गोइंग फॉर हाइक्स. जो भी आपके हॉबीज है, ऐसे थोड़ा सा उसको डाइवर्ट करो. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट द इंटरव्यूअर वांट्स टू नो. सो बेसिकली व्हाई दे आस्क यू टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ इज बिकॉज दे वांट टू नो आपका पर्सोना कैसा है. इफ दे कम टू नो दैट यू आर मल्टीटास्किंग, तो ऑब्वियसली आपके चांसेस बढ़ेंगे of getting into the company. If they see that you are really focused constantly on learning different softwares, मतलब जो भी technologies वगैरह है, blah blah blah. If you keep focusing on, I have studied this, I have studied that, I did this course on this, on that, ये सारी चीजें उनको सुन के मतलब they'll be like, अरे ठीक है, मतलब भी पता है तुमको सब कुछ आता है, इतना सब कुछ आता है तो हमारी कंपनी में काम क्यों कर रहे हो. सो वी डोंट वांट टू डू दैट. वी आल्सो वांट टू मेक श्योर कि जितनी चीजें हमको आती है उसके साथ दे शुड नो कि हम मल्टीटास्किंग भी है. बिकॉज कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर अभी बहुत ऐसे हो गया कि उनको रिलैक्स करने वाले भी एम्प्लॉयज चाहिए, प्लस उनसे काम भी करवाना है. सो इट्स बिकम अ वेरी मिक्स्ड कल्चर. तो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि आप उनको बोलोगे कि मेरे हॉबीज भी ये है. सो ट्राई एंड मेंटेन अ बैलेंस बिटवीन दोज टू थिंग्स. एक ही चीज पे फोकस मत करो. एंड लाइक आई सेड, सीवी में जो लिखी है बातें उन पे वापस ध्यान मत दो, बिकॉज उन्होंने ऑलरेडी पढ़ा है. सो यू कैन स्टार्ट ऑफ विद अ सेंटेंस, वेल यू हैव माई सीवी, सो आई डोंट वांट टू रिपीट whatever is written in the CV. What I'd like to tell you is something that's not in there, and then start off with the conversation. So उससे भी थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है. The interviewer knows what you're talking about. एक कोई फिक्स्ड फॉर्मेट नहीं होता बताने का अपने बारे में. हर एक का व्हाट यू से अप्रोच अलग होता है. एवरीबडी हैज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी टू टेल. एवरीबडी हैज अ डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ गोल्स एंड हॉबीज, जो भी होता है बताने के लिए. सो मेक श्योर दैट यू नो व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. अपने बारे में फोकस करके उनको बोलो. don't try and be very cheeky कि company के बारे में ये बहुत सुना है, I've heard so much about the company, that's why I decided to go ahead with it, blah 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 blah. थोड़ा बहुत praising वगैरह ठीक है, but don't try and be very cheeky about the entire conversation. Don't try to impress the interviewer in the first attempt. वो बाद में पता चलेगा जब आपके skill set पे वगैरह बातें आएंगी, तो वो सारी चीजें उनको automatically समझ में आएंगी. So this was the first question. ठीक है, any questions regarding that? Tell me about yourself के बारे में कुछ questions है, chat box में बोल सकते हो या फिर मुझे पूछ सकते हो directly. Anything that you have in mind?
Excuse me, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I had a question like when the interviewer asks, tell me something about yourself. So should we should we only talk about our particular field, or should we like maintain a balance and talk about our extracurricular skills as well?
Yes, absolutely. You need to maintain a balance and talk about your extracurriculars too. So you can start off with your career focused questions and answers. So you can start with what when you have graduated, blah blah blah, whatever technologies and etc. But also I would recommend don't go too much in depth in that case. Try to maintain a balance, but always start off with your formal conversation and then move on to your extracurriculars, because obviously their main focus is going to be your your education, your academics, and how you will mold well with the company in terms of academics. So that is what they want to know, but don't completely focus on that. Make sure that you also tell them about your extracurriculars. That is just a way to get them familiar with you, and you can just put up your persona a lot better if they know about what you do in your extra time. They don't want employees nowadays that will only focus on their work. They also want people who know how to relax, and that is how you try and put up those things in front of them. Okay, does that answer your question, or is there something more?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome, no worries. So we have another question. I heard you can drive the interview in your strong direction, but I never figure how to do it. Like, should you just mention your strong subjects or projects and tell me about yourself? Okay, so like I said, when you have when they ask you this question, tell me about yourself, you can start off on a very small note. Like I said, don't start bombarding your skills on the interviewer right in the first attempt, because they get so many interviewees every day. There are so many employees that they need to ask questions, and if you start putting up all the information in front of them in the first attempt, it's going to be very hard for them to process it. So make sure that you take your time to let that interview flow in a particular direction. Make yourself familiar with it, make the interviewer familiar with you, and then start building a conversation. So start off with small things like when you graduated, what is your goal, how you look at this field that you're getting into, what was your thinking direction. Then talk about your extracurriculars, what you have learned and what you wish to learn. So talk about all these things. This is a very good way of putting it forth. You can always tell the interviewer what you wish to learn and what you have been learning so far. So let's say if I talk about my field, okay, this is completely off topic, this is not related to IT, so I'll just give you an example. So during my interview over here, the interviewer asked me, tell me a little bit about yourself. So I told him I'm a master's student at the University of Auckland. I have been in Auckland for a year now, and I have been actively looking for jobs in my field, but I also wanted to make sure that I understand the work culture in New Zealand, so I decided to go for a job in a cafe. So that is how I started my conversation with him. Then I told him about my experience in the cafe. Then I told him about how I found this job. I told him that, I found this job through Seek. It's a website over here that you go to find jobs. I told him I found this job through Seek, and I felt that I really resonated with the entire job profile. I felt I should apply for it, and that's when I decided to go for it, because it required it required a person who had good communication skills and was upfront, and I talk a lot. So I've decided I can go ahead with this role, and that's how I ended up for this interview. So that is how I started my conversation. Then the interview also got a little comfortable with me. I could talk to him about my extracurricular activities as well. I told him how I love hiking, how I've been to different places in Auckland so far, blah, 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 blah. That is how you familiarize yourself with the entire situation. And then once the situation gets a little more comfortable, that is when you put forth what you have done, skills wise, technology wise, project wise, whatever you have learned in your duration of 4 years or more than that, or whatever it is. जो भी आपने projects वगैरह किए हैं उनको बात के लिए रखो, पहले अपने आप को comfortable कर लो. See, इंटरव्यूअर के लिए जितना इम्पोर्टेंट है आपको समझना, आपके लिए भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है टू गेट फेमिलियर विद द सिचुएशन एंड टू गेट फेमिलियर विद द इंटरव्यूअर. सो कभी भी किसी भी चीज का प्रेशर नहीं लेना चाहिए. कीप योर सेल्फ calm and composed. Take your own time to get comfortable and then move ahead. Okay, we have a question. What if it was a telephonic interview? That's the best situation you can end up in. The person doesn't have to what you're sitting, like how you're presenting yourself. If it's a telephonic interview, you can without any hesitation go ahead and say all the things that you need to. When it's a face-to-face interview, it's very difficult to present yourself, especially if you're not somebody who's very calm and composed. तो बहुत हम लोग uncomfortable होते हैं, ऐसे बैठते हैं, बालों के साथ खेलते हैं, पैर हिलाते रहते हैं. So these things come off very badly when you're giving an interview, obviously. And see, there's no harm in doing that. हर कोई nervous होता है अपने interview के time पे. But if it's a telephonic interview, you're good to go. You can just put forth everything that is there without having to worry about how do I look, how am I presenting myself, are my clothes okay, blah blah blah. ये सारी चीजों के बारे में सोचने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Keep the same approach. जो भी चीजें आपको बतानी जरूरी है, just put them forth. Even if it's a telephonic interview, it shouldn't make a difference. Go ahead with your content, get comfortable again, like I said, and then put forth your skills and projects and technologies, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Is that all good? Or do you have another question?
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Hi, Kalyani. Can you increase your volume a little bit?
Okay. Now am I audible?
You're very fairly audible. I mean, I'm not able to hear you completely.
Okay. Just
Yeah, much better now.
Ma'am, my question is that if we have done a lot of technologies learned, so will it be an impact in your interview to tell them that I have done multiple technologies or the multiple things I have done? So will it be a good impact or bad impact?
Oh, it will definitely be a good impact if they come to know that you have learned a lot of technologies, and if they know that you are actively learning different technologies. That is obviously a plus point from your side. It just depends on how you put it forth. You don't want to be too overconfident and tell them, I've learned this and I've learned that. So just make sure that the way you put it in front of them is also very humble and modest, just so that you make sure that you put it forth as if you're giving them information. Everything that you say during an interview is only to inform them, not to project yourself or not to sell yourself, okay? Because this is a beginner's interview. So you should always make sure that you're not selling yourself constantly. Otherwise, it comes off very bad in front of the interviewer. Just make sure that you put it forth in a way that does not seem very overconfident. But obviously, if you have learned a lot of technologies, you make sure that you convey it to them, and it will definitely be a plus point for you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no worries. Okay, we have a question. What other intros can be there for CSE? Like, can we mention clubs? Okay, I'm not sure when you say we can mention clubs, but okay, can you elaborate this question a little bit? Are you talking about like your extracurriculars, like what clubs you were a part of in your engineering or your college activities? Is that what you're trying to say?
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, hi.
Hi. Clubs, like I'm talking about some of the like OpenG's universities and CRI and other and so on clubs which you join. Yes, extracurricular activities, but somehow it feels like when you mention the clubs in the very first tell me about yourselves, it may drive off the interview in a non-technical side, or is it a good thing to do?
So if you're talking about volunteering, so like you said, joining clubs like Cry or Red Cross or something like that, it will definitely come off as a good sign, depending on how much importance you're giving it. So when I said first you talk a little informally about your curriculars and then about your extracurriculars, you can talk about all of these things, but just make sure that you mention it somewhere. Don't try and focus on, I have done volunteering for Cry, I've been volunteering for 2.5 years now. These are all the activities that we have done and we have been proceeding in this way, blah, 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 blah. They obviously don't want to hear the entire agenda that your club has for you. So make sure that you just put it forth in them, give them an idea as to this is what I have done. So let's for example, how it can go is, hi, my name is Gautami, blah, 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 blah. I'm from here, etc., etc., etc. Now coming to my extracurriculars. Also, along with my curriculars, I love hiking. I love to travel around a lot. And I have also been volunteering for CRY for the last 2 years, because I'm really involved in the volunteering activities that they do. That is something that aligns with my thought process. That's all. That is all you have to say. So don't try and give it way too much importance. Otherwise, they'll just wait for you to finish or they might stop you in between. And when the interviewer stops you in between, it goes haywire. You lose your confidence. That is what basically happens. If they try and stop you, you feel like, oh shit, I've been talking for way too long. They feel that this is not going right. What have I done? What have I done? So you get nervous unnecessarily. So the more time you give them to ask questions, the easier it is on you, because then it's not up to you to take an initiative and talk. Make them ask you questions. That is how it is supposed to go. Does that answer your question, Yash?
Yes.
All good. Thank you. Okay, I get too nervous during interviews and speak too fast. Bro, I can't help you in that manner because I speak so fast. If you go to YouTube and check this session out later on in video, you will not understand the word that I am saying because I speak very, very fast. That is just something that you have to keep in mind and make a conscious effort of talking slow. It has happened to me so many times that the interviewer has said to me, Gautami, go a little slow. You're talking way too fast. Then I have to take a breath. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go slow now. So there's nothing much you can do about it except for keep in your mind that, I have to talk a little slow. That still happens to me. I have given so many interviews. I've been at so many places, but I still tend to talk very fast. But you just have to make those conscious efforts, and the more you keep it in mind during having conversations, it is an eventual process. You will eventually understand what your speed is supposed to be. It is very difficult to understand that in the first place. So just go ahead with the flow. Try and keep it in your mind that I have to speak slow, otherwise the interviewer is not going to understand me. Just keep that in mind. You will eventually get there. It's just a mind game. There's nothing you can do about it. One tip that I can give you is record yourself first. Try doing a recording session of yourself. Sit in front of the camera and just talk for like 5-6 minutes. You will understand when you hear yourself that you're going very fast or you're being very nervous, and try to work on that. That will help. It'll take a little time, but it will definitely help. Awesome. Okay, we have another question. What about experienced people? Like for 3 years of experience, what should I mention in my answer? You have a very positive side to view when they ask you, tell me something about yourself. Okay, my name is Gautami Bhor. I am, no, so that is not how you start. Sorry, I'm just saying this as an example. So my name is Gautami Bhor. I have been in this field for the last 3 years. I have actively learned so and so technologies, X, Y, and Z. In my last 3 years of learning, I have developed my skill set in such a way. I mean, that's up to you. I'm sorry, I'm just very, very bad with the IT lingo. Even if I'm an IT engineer, I suck at it. So you just have to put forth what your skills are, what things you have learned in the last 3 years, and then move on to what you intend to learn, and how you can put forth your skill set in a way that will help you as well as the company, and how you can make it a learning process. Just touch base on it. Don't go way too deep into it. Otherwise, what we do is, whatever technologies and everything we've learned, we tend to go way deep into it, and then we end up talking about our previous company and previous experiences. That is not something the interviewer would like to hear, as per my understanding. So just touch base on, you've been in this field for last 3 years and you have learned so and so technologies and you intend to expand your skill set, but whatever I have learned so far will definitely help me in my years to come and has improved me on a large scale. Give yourself those positive points, and that will reflect in your conversation and will give the interviewer a good insight into your positive side. Okay, are there any more questions, or maybe we can just move on to the next question now?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, hi Prajwal, you're audible.
So actually, I explored a lot of fields from game development, YouTube content making, web development, operating system. So
Right.
will it show my instability or ability to explore new things? And how do I put it perfectly so they perceive it as my ability to explore and learn new things than being unstable towards a specific field?
Okay, that is a very good question. It, yeah, like you said, it depends on how you put it forth. If you just keep saying, first I did this, then after a few months I switched to this, then I did this, that will show that you are a bit unstable, maybe. But again, if you put it forth, like I also did this, I also did that. So if you tell them that along with this, I also wanted to expand my skill set to this, so I did this as well. So I started off with uh, YouTube content making, etc. Then I felt like along with that, I also needed to, add to my skill set how I can develop my own website, web page, whatever it is. So I started with web development as well. So maybe you can make it look like it's a continuous and a simultaneous process, so that it comes off as a good side of yours, rather than saying I first did this, then I did that. Don't compartmentize it. Just make sure that it's an alongside process. Make sure that you did those things simultaneously. That is what the interviewer should feel. Because since you have like a good amount of skill set, that will definitely show in your interview that you have learned a lot of different technologies. You are not just into something that is mainstream, and that will come off as a positive point. But make sure that you don't show that you have been jumping from one place to another. Otherwise, that might show off as something that you have been not really stable at. But I'm not really sure about how the situation might go in India, because over here, whatever I have seen, because I have given my maximum interviews over here, people really appreciate it if you're doing different things. So it comes off as a very good sign if you are into something so that you have done in academics and then you're switching to something completely different from your academics. So it comes off as a good thing, does not really make them think that you are an unstable person. But again, Indian scenario, Indian employers, completely different situation. They just want something to, criticize. So you just need to make sure that you show them that you have done things simultaneously. But if you have a good amount of skill set, obviously it shouldn't be a negative point from your side. It will just take a little while to practice those things. Make sure that you're telling them, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. Maybe if you could skip a few things that you feel are not very important, try and keep it little sweet and short. Maybe that will help. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir.
No worries. Please let me know if I'm not giving you correct answers, or if you feel that my answers are not sufficient for you, because this is the first time I'm talking to such a big group. So I would like to make sure that whatever I'm doing is right and I'm giving you the right answers and giving you the correct insights. So anything that you have in mind, please let me know. Okay. Okay. So we are going to move on to the next question now. Wow. Okay, where do you see yourself in 10 years? This was the second question. Honestly, I don't think anybody asks you where you see yourself in 10 years. 10 years is a really long time. Let's maybe consider 5 years for convenience sake. So it's up to you. You need to, be a little diplomatic in this way, and you need to tell them how where you see yourself in 5 years in your personal goals or in your academic or career goals. So just make sure, let's say, suppose the interviewer asks me, "Gautam, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" So I will say, personally, in 5 years, I see myself living in a nice house, settled with 3 children, and gotten married to a nice, handsome guy, and earning lots of money, living in a house that is spacious, and helping out the environment in a great way. That is what my answer probably will be if I'm trying to build a humorful conversation with the interviewer. But always make sure that you make a differentiation between your personal and the career goals. On a serious note, I will say personally I intend to learn a lot of things even down the line in the next 5 years. I intend to become a better person. I want to help out people and the environment in a good way. And I want to make sure that I leave some impact on the environment in the next 5 years. And if you ask me career wise, I would like to be in a place where I have achieved a good amount of skill set, and would also, want to keep learning different things even in the years to come. I don't want to be stuck into one technology. I would like to explore a lot of different things and gain a lot of skills out of those. Another thing that you can say, this will be very diplomatic, you can say that the technologies are changing every day. Every year there's a new technology that comes up. So I'm not really sure where I will end up in the next 5 years because the technology keeps changing. So I would like to see myself in the present right now and make sure that whatever technology I'm handling right now, I give my best to it. Who knows what technology comes up in the next 5 years? I might be diverted to it. But then obviously I would love to learn whatever comes my way even in the next 5 years, because learning is a continuous process. Something like this, if you put for the interview, will be like, wow, kya dialogue mara hai. That will definitely, put forth plus points in your brownies. So that will be a good point. That's up to you. Just one tip that I will give you is be diplomatic. Do not give any direct answers, because you never know what might come off as overconfident, what might come off as underconfident. It's completely up to the interviewer. Just be diplomatic with this answer and make sure that you differentiate between your career goals and your personal goals. Make sure that you put both of them in front of the interviewer. Any questions regarding that? Awesome. I gave a good satisfactory answer. I'm very happy. Okay, what's our next question? What do you expect from my company? Okay, that's a bit difficult to answer. I don't know. What do you guys normally expect from a company apart from getting a good salary? I would like to hear your insights.
Work environment.
Work environment, yeah, that's a great point. Anything else?
Good projects to work on where we can learn new skill sets.
Awesome. Okay, good projects to work on. Anything else that you have in mind?
Collaboration and better mentors.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Collaboration and better mentors who can better tech lead.
Okay, collaboration. Okay, that's a good point.
Coordination in team.
Coordination in team. Okay, nice. यार बहुत इन डेप्थ सोचते हो यार, मैं तो कभी ना सोचूं इतना। पहले कंपनी से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हो भाई? अच्छी सैलरी दे दो, कभी कभार फ्री में खाना दे दो, मेरा तो इतने एक्सपेक्टेशन है।
People who treat you like a human being and not a slave.
Wow, that is very much in depth, but yeah, good point. Yeah, you would definitely like it if your employer didn't treat you like a slave, isn't it? Making you work extra hours, work culture, definitely. Yeah, so these are
But
like
this,
really good points. So yeah, you were saying?
I mean, if you're talking about like most of the companies, especially those the service-based companies, they don't need actually much of the skills for, like say, you don't need some AWS or any particular skill for that companies. Most of the time, you just need to little bit of coding and some other things. So in
Right.
that area, you can't even say much that I'm going to be learning so much. I'm getting good mentors here. Obviously, know that you're not going to get that one. And the
Right,
slave
yeah.
part, the friend just I mentioned, you will definitely be maybe if not a slave, but at least a very hardworking person on that one
Yeah,
without learning much. So
true.
even like the company, for example, the TCS, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
if they ask me question why TCS or what do you expect from the TCS, you don't have much positive points to mention there. So what to mention there? They obviously know that you are faking it when you are saying you're going to be learn and part of the great team, and these are obviously good one, but couple of big ones, but maybe it's not going to get a good one impression that if you're lying it.
Okay, yeah, I get your point. I understand that. So it's basically like you know the ground reality, you know what the company is going to offer you. In spite of that, you feel that you're just saying these things for the sake of it, and it might come off in a bad way, isn't it? Okay, so what we can do in that scenario, just be honest, okay? Let's say if a company like TCS or Accenture, somebody who's a mass recruiter asks you, what do you expect from the company? You can just plainly say, I expect working in a good team. I expect a good relationship with my colleagues. That is something that you definitely would expect, isn't it? Maybe not from directly from the company. You might not expect many things from the CEO or like whoever is in the higher hierarchy, but you definitely would like it if you had good colleagues in your office to work with, isn't it? You would like it if you could attend good office parties with a good bunch of people. You would like it if there was somebody who you could share your daily experiences with. So that is something that every person expects, and it is not dependent on the company. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so if in cases where you see that the company doesn't have much to offer you for the time being in the beginning, you can always say, what I expect in the company is to have a good set of friends, to have a good set of colleagues with whom I can work in a positive atmosphere. I wish to have a good rapport with my colleagues so that I can learn from them also, as well as, have, what do you say? That will be good for my mental well-being so that I will have a positive atmosphere to work in, something that will drive me to come to the office every day and not make me bored of working in this atmosphere. Be honest about it, but also be very diplomatic with that answer. Make sure that you're putting it forth as a humorous topic. So don't say that I don't want to be bored in the office, I want to work in a good environment, blah blah blah. Don't say that. Just say I want to work in an atmosphere where it'll drive me every day to come to the office rather than getting bored and sitting at home. Something like that. You can always mention that you want a good set of colleagues. There's nothing wrong with it. That is something that every person expects. I would like to work in a positive environment with a good set of colleagues, and uh, work in an environment where I'll be able to express myself well, where I'll be able to share my feelings, emotions, whatever, blah, 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 where I'll be able to share my daily life, something like that. Because obviously, an office is a place where you spend like most of your day, 8 to 9 hours of your day is spent in an office. So it becomes like your home, second home, family, whatever. Even though I don't believe in that concept, but it does become an important place of your life. So it should be comfortable for you. You shouldn't be spending 8 to 9 hours of your life, 8 to 9 hours of your day in a place where you're not comfortable, in a place where you can't feel like you can share things with other people. So you can definitely focus on something like that when it comes to mass recruiters. Is that okay?
Thank
Awesome.
Hey Gautami, Adesh here.
Hi Adesh, what's up?
Yeah, so one of my past interview, the same question asked by interviewer, and I said that I expect a quality of work. So after that round, I didn't get call from that company for the next round. So I don't know what I did wrong in that. So could you?
Okay, yeah. The moment you said quality of work, I was like, ooh, wrong answer. So basically, see, quality of work is something that they will be expecting from you in terms of getting results. Okay. If you put forth in front of the interviewer that you are expecting good quality work from them, like I understand what you meant to say, that you intend to work on a good project or you intend to work on a good technology. That is what you meant to say, but it came off a little wrong in terms of words. Okay, so what you should have said is, I intend to learn different technologies or work on different technologies and fronts that will help me improve my skill set and which will prove to be useful for the company in terms of results from my side. So make sure that you say that you're giving something out to the company rather than expecting a lot from that. Even though your base intention is to get from them, you should make them feel like you're giving them a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So rather than
Yeah.
saying I expect quality work from you, you should have said I intend to learn different technologies and work on those fronts so that I can improve my skills and provide more to the company in terms of results. That is something that is how you put it forth in a diplomatic way. And then when you use such long sentences, the interviewer tends to stop and not ask you more about it. If you just say I intend to work on good quality work, they'll be like, nah, not happening. So
Okay.
just choose your words a little wisely. Obviously, it can be very nerve-wracking when you are at an interview. It becomes very difficult to think of the right things to say because you're already nervous. So I can understand that. It's just you need to make a conscious effort in that case. You have to make sure
Mhm.
that you keep your cool and say the right things and not piss somebody off. And
Okay.
at any point, if you feel that you're about to say something crazy, just make sure that you laugh about it. Okay. In that way, the interviewer will think, okay, this was a joke that he was trying to crack, or the atmosphere stays a little more healthy. If at any point you
Okay.
feel, okay, I was gonna something that I said was a little crazy, just cover up for it with a nice laugh, and it will be a little more died down. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. So why the interviewer came up with this question? Because I changed in my past. I changed two companies. So he asked me that what you exactly looking from a company. So
Mm-hmm.
that you are changing the companies two times. So what
Right.
you expect
Okay.
from us. So that's why I given that answer. Like I expect a
Okay.
quality of work.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, rather than saying I expect good quality of work, you can say that I intend to work on different technologies and learn more skills. That is what maybe you should have said, because if you're switching from one company to other, you can always say that there wasn't much for me to learn and provide in form of results. There was a little bit of stagnancy that I had come across. So I just wanted to make sure that I could expand my skill set and learn new things and then provide the company with better results, so that it was a two-way process. So if you mention that it's a two-way process, it becomes a little more positive than just saying that I was expecting more good quality work or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Does that
Thank you.
make
Thank you,
sense?
Gautam.
Or do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You sure?
No, that makes sense. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
Awesome. No worries.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, ma'am. So this question it might be merged with one more question like
Mm-hmm.
what salary do you expect from the company? So
Right.
like how do you decide how much salary do we expect?
Okay. So I'm not really very sure about this question. I'm really sorry, but I will try to um just see how we can go about it. I'm sorry, is there sunlight on my face? What the fuck? I never saw this. Okay, 1 second. So let's make this a bit easier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, much better. So in terms of salary, I think we normally we do a market research, don't we? Like whatever role that we are applying for, we make sure that we know how much people are getting paid and stuff. So I'm not sure because I have never been able to put forth how much salary I'm expecting. I've never been able to answer that question. But that was also because nobody really asked me that much. There was only one interview where I was asked how much salary do you expect? And I said, I'm not really sure, but something that will suffice with my needs and something that is a little more than a basic because I have an expanded skill set. That is what I said to the interviewer. So over here, I was working on an hourly rate. So the basic pay over here is $19 per hour for us. So what I said to him was, something a little that's a little more than the basic pay, but at the same time, I will make sure that I'm able to handle my rent and my bills and everything. So that's how I ended up getting a job at $23 per hour. So that was a little more than what was being offered to the other people, but at the same time wasn't extravagant. So that was my approach to it. But I'm really sorry, but I don't have much idea about how to portray how much salary you're expecting, because I don't have experience in that area. Really sorry about it, Abhishek. But I will definitely do some research on this, try and ask a few more people who have been asked this question, have a good conversation, and then get back to you on this.
There are
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, in my last interview, in my telephonic interview, the person asked me about this question, and I was like not sure. And I was the thing which was running on my mind was if I tell him more salary, like it might have a negative impact on him, and I might not get that internship. So like I just avoided to answer that question and just moved on to another question.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. See, what normally happens is that if you're applying for an entry level position, or if you're applying for an internship, it becomes a lot difficult for us to analyze, because we always think that, we are not capable enough to ask for a salary because we have just started. So we are not in a position to ask them for a salary or whatever. So I can completely understand. I think there's a better time for us to answer that question. That is when we have some good amount of experience, and when we are in a position where we can say, okay, this is what was being given to me previously. So now since I have expanded my skill set, this is something that I'm expecting now. So I think in those terms we can always say that, suppose if your package was like what, 3 lakhs before, now you're expecting 4.5. That is something you can say based on whatever experience you have gained. But if it is somebody who's an entry level person, or somebody who's aiming for an internship, I am not really sure how to aim for that question, because I personally have never answered that, and I cannot imagine answering that question myself either. But I will definitely do some research and get back to you on that. I'll ask a few people who have answered that and then let you know. Any more questions?
usually for entry level people.
Mm-hmm.
Usually for entry level people, there is like mass recruiting is happening,
Yeah.
and they already announced that we are uh, hiring for this role and package will be this.
Yeah.
So
True.
you can directly say that uh, as in the job description, the salary is already given as 5 lakhs, so we will
Mm-hmm.
be expecting 5 lakhs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think in most scenarios, if they have mentioned what salary they are going to provide you with, they probably might not ask you a question as in how much salary you're expecting. This normally is a scenario where the job is posted on a social media platform, or maybe on some other job recruiting website or something, when there's no clarity as to what the package is going to be. But if it's normally through our placement cell, or maybe something that's on the email that you get from, um, what's that? What is that exam that you give in your engineering colleges? So something
uh,
that starts with an A. What the fuck?
MCAT or something like that you're
AMCAT.
talking about?
AMCAT, yes, you're right. So if it's on AMCAT or something, normally you will have an idea as to what the company is providing you in terms of salary. It becomes a lot more easier for you to understand what kind of role it will be also. So yeah, but what you said is right. If they do ask you, you always have an idea what salary they're providing you, so you can just put that forth. And if you're
Also, if you're
yeah.
very confident enough for like your interview was like A1,
Mm-hmm.
and you think you are an extraordinary person, so you can
Right.
demand as much of salary you want. So you are just not sure what salary you should be
Mm-hmm.
putting forward. There is two websites.
Yeah.
I will post the link in the channel or WhatsApp later after this session.
Okay. You
So
can
where
put it up
it's
in the
like,
chat over here, just to
yeah,
make it bigger.
salary.com or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can uh, input there your skill set,
Your skill
and
set,
it will
exactly.
tell you that this is the average salary in your area for this skill set.
Absolutely. You get that from different websites. There's Glassdoor also. You can do it on Indeed as well. I think because I have used like a few tools just to see what the market rate is going to be, but you can definitely do that analysis and then expect a certain value. And yeah, I think that would be a good way to go about it.
I
Awesome.
guess this
Yeah.
solves the question.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does. And anything more that you have, any more questions that you have in regarding the salary thing, I will look into it and definitely get back to you on that. Because right now I'm very unsure about that whole thing. Really sorry. Should we move on to the next question?
To the question, what do you expect from company? It's saying I want to get good professional working experience, a good point.
Good professional working experience. Yes,
Uh,
definitely.
like
It is a good
that
point.
will be my first job as a professional. So
Yeah, definitely. You can say that. Okay, can you just say that again, the whole sentence?
I want to get a good professional working experience as it will be my first job working professionally.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. If you say it in that manner, it will definitely work for you. I want to get a good professional experience since it's my first job. So I just want to make sure that I get the feel of how professionally companies work and what kind of work is being done. You can obviously put that forth because it's completely different from what you've learned in college. And see, every interviewer knows that they're going to have to train you anyway, irrespective of whatever technologies you know, whatever projects you've done. So they do train you. So this would be a good point to go ahead with. I want to get a professional experience. Bang on, you did a great job, man. You'll crack an interview. Why do you need my session? You'll be fine. Okay, the next question is, why should we hire you? So like a tough question, man. You should never. Okay, so if somebody asks you why should we hire you, my first answer that I always give to them is because you are recruiting people for your job. Okay, that is what I say, and I say it upfront and I laugh about it, and the interviewer also laughs about it. So you should say because you're recruiting people. That's why you should hire me because because you need people to work for your company. But then again, get off that. Don't stay on that point for too long because just use it as a joke and get bhadas nikal do sari us question mein. When they ask you why we should hire you, it's a stupid question, to be very honest. Nobody should ask that ever. But just say that statement and then come down to the basics, because my skill set and my aspirations align really well with what the company requires from this role. That is why I will be a good fit for this role. And I'm sure there are like so many other people who have applied for the same job and they might be a good fit for this role as well. But I feel that I would be a good fit for this role because I have those skill sets and I can be an excellent addition to the team that is there. That's, you just have to keep it generic. It might sound very cheeky, but you know, not every question has some dhasu type of answer that you can give. Some things just have to be very plain and simple. So you can just say, is there any input that you guys want to give or something that you might have heard and you want to confirm whether
Um,
it'll work or not?
I have one input that
Yeah,
sometime if some people are overconfident on themselves, they tend to brag about themselves. You
yeah.
should just do that.
You
It
shouldn't do
just
that.
come up as
Absolutely.
a overconfident person and so on.
Definitely, definitely. You should never come off as overconfident. Do not sell yourself. Like I said, you know, we as employees, we want to make sure that the person in front of us knows about our plus side and our positive points, and that's a good thing. But don't try to sell yourself so hard that you come off being as a boaster about it. So don't brag about whatever skills you have learned. Make sure that you just touch base on them and put it through very casually. So just mention in one or two sentences. And again, one important thing that I would like to say over here is, whenever you're answering the question why we should hire you, please do not mention the technologies and everything that you've learned. It makes no sense because you've already spoken about it. Why we should hire you comes in a later stage of an interview. So don't mention because I know this, because I know that. Please do not mention these things. just say that your skill set aligns with the role that is put forth by the company. So I would be a good addition to the team, and I would get a good learning opportunity as well as provide good results to the company. That is what the company requires right now. And there might be many other employees who are also good at their jobs, but I think I will be a good fit myself. I can't talk for others. I can just mention what I can do, and that is something to think about. Be confident, don't be overconfident, but just be confident about yourself and say that, this is what I can do. I have a good skill set that will be useful for you. You can interview other employees. Never say that, I am better than the others. You don't know that you're better than the others. Never say that. That's a very, I don't know, I've heard like from 2 to 3 people, or I've seen it on different online forums and everything, where people say, I'm better than the others. You don't know that. And you can never demean other people by saying that you're better. Speak for yourself. Say, I can speak for myself. I don't know how talented the other people are, but I know that I will be a good fit for this role and that I can provide good results to the company using my own skill set. So say that and you will be good to go. I don't think the interviewer will ask you more questions than that. Anything else you guys want to add? Okay,
I
cool.
guess if we want to say something, we can tell them about our soft skills, like non-technical skills.
You can,
Something,
but then again
something
depends
about
on, yeah.
something about if you have mentored someone, if you have some kind of experience where you have teached someone something,
Right.
then you can always tell them.
Okay. You can add those, but then why should we hire you isn't the right place to say that. That will be something that you put forth when they ask you about your skills, when you're having a conversation about what you can provide to the company. Why should we hire you is a question where they want to know why just you? Why not somebody else? So if you keep talking about the different technologies and projects and maybe soft skills or like other non-curricular things that you're good at that will provide inputs, that is something that other employees also might have done. You don't know about it. So that is an answer to be given for a different question. Why we should hire you is only to make them understand that there is a role that you have put forth and I am in alignment with that role. I have the skill set that is required for that role and you need to recruit people. So why not me? That is how you put it forth in front of them, but in a normal way, not in an overconfident way. But yeah, what you said is also right. Just an answer for a different question. That's all. All good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, will you switch to another company if they give you more salary? I don't know. Will you guys switch to another company if they give you more salary? Let me know, like whatever you think. Obviously, yes. I mean, everybody will switch to a different company if they are being offered more salary. Why not? But then again, depends on when you are being offered a bigger salary, isn't it?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I want to give the answer.
definitely. Yeah, please.
Ma'am, yes, we will shift. If the previous experience will be beneficial for that company, or for the salary is good, better than the previous, then I will shift.
Okay, so this is what you think you will say to the employer, or this is what your personal opinion is?
No, this is my personal opinion.
Personal opinion. Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. If there's a company that is providing you a better salary, that is giving you maybe probably more work satisfaction, why not shift to it? But the way to put it in front of an employer is to make sure that you let them know about what your expectations are in this sense. So if they say, if another company provides you with a better salary, will you shift to that company? You can always say that depends on how my experience goes over here. If I'm getting a good work environment if I'm enjoying my work over here, and if the salary that I'm being provided over here is sufficient for my livelihood as well as gives me enough amount to enjoy my life, I don't think I would feel the requirement to shift to a different company only because they're providing me a little more money. But obviously, if the salary that I get at another company is like by a huge difference, and if I feel that the work culture over there might be better than what is being provided over here, or if I feel that I'm getting stagnant in a position over here, I might give it a thought. You will never say that I will shift to a company, because obviously that shows that you're not stable. You can say I might give it a thought if I feel that it is going to go better at the other place. There's no harm in saying that. You can always tell the employer that I'm not sure. I might give it a thought if the work environment over there is better and if there's a huge margin in the salary being provided to me. But if I'm getting a good salary over here, if I like the work environment, if I'm getting work satisfaction, and if that salary is enough to provide to my livelihood and my daily livelihood, plus give me a little more money to enjoy myself, I don't think I'll be able, I don't think I'd like to get out of that comfort zone and take that much effort to switch to another company unnecessarily. I'd rather give my 100% to this company and make sure that I have stable growth over here. Make sense? Okay, how to answer that you are overqualified, so applying for this job? So why applying for this job? Okay, you're overqualified. Can you give me an example? Because I don't know how to explain this technology wise. Can you just like give me an example? Okay, explain your daily routine. That also makes a lot of sense. Yes. If you say that this is what my daily routine is and I need money for so and so things, so yeah, why not? In my opinion, it depends on who's giving. Won't go for TCS 12 lakhs if I'm in Amazon for 16. What domain I'll be working on, how much will be total work hours, etc. Absolutely, that is perfect. That is what I was talking about. You need to have work satisfaction wherever you're working. If you're just logging your ass off for 12, 13 hours a day and then making 20, it makes no sense. If you have to work 6 days a week and not get time to enjoy, it makes no sense. That's what you need to put forth in front of the interviewer, that if the work environment is good and I'm getting work satisfaction, and plus at the same time the amount is in alignment with your requirements, then I don't think I would like to change my comfort zone. I'd rather focus on growth in the same company and make sure that I'm providing my 100% so that I can learn more and maybe gain more. That is how you put it forth. Can you write down your answer for what if another company offers you more salary? Will you switch and send it on WhatsApp? I will do that definitely. I will type it out and send it to you on WhatsApp on the group and make sure that everybody has a copy of that answer. Awesome. Like fresher job and higher degree or some experience, but still applying to fresher job. Okay. So the very straightforward answer to that would be because I am not getting a job in alignment with my degree, unfortunately. I have a master's degree and I want to apply for jobs that require a qualification of master's degree, but considering the situation right now, I'm not able to get one. So I'd rather apply for a fresher job. That is a very straightforward answer, but obviously please don't put it forth in that way, the way I've spoken to you. Just say that why I'm applying for this job is because I feel there's no harm in starting from scratch. I don't feel that I am overqualified for anything to learn new skills. I feel that wherever I start, I will be learning something new. So I don't feel in any way that this will be a demotion for me of any sort. Any place that I go to, I just want to make sure that I get to learn a lot and share a lot. So I don't really care if it's a job that is on a fresher scale and I have a master's, or I have like so and so experience and getting into something that is a fresh. I just want to learn more things and I want to adapt to the work environment around me. So I don't feel there's anything wrong with me being overqualified for a certain job, because I know that my skills will take me to places later on in life. I'm not in a hurry to get to places. You can always say that. There's nothing wrong with it. Does that answer your question? Okay, I don't know. I'm getting an yes.
I'm in the
Awesome.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Ma'am, in the question, where do you see yourself in next 5 to 10 years? Like mentioning going for masters or MTech, any masters or anything. So would be it will reduce your chances of getting into a company, or it would be good to mention that?
I would probably not mention that in the first place, because if they see that you're a capable employee, they don't want to let you go if you plan to go for your masters. So don't mention that right away in the interview. When you never know, things might change. So it's better not to give them an idea straight away. And see, obviously, as per my understanding, you will also not apply for a job where you're going to be only for 5 to 6 months if you're going to go for a master's, isn't it? So if there's a company where you're going to stay for at least a year, I don't feel there's a need for you to tell them that you're planning to go for your master's. They don't need to know that right away. It would be better if you keep it to yourself. Once you start working in that company, once you have a good rapport built up with the seniors, then you can casually slip it in that, this is what my plan is now, because they've already hired you. They can't do anything about it. But telling them upfront that I'm planning to go for a master's might put them off. They might feel, oh, we're going to lose an employee in so and so period, then why should we invest in this training, etc., etc. So don't put that forth right away. Make sure that you just talk about your goals and whatever it is for the time being, and you can talk about them to them about the masters thing later on when you are employed.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no worries, man. Okay, any more questions in that respect?
So,
Yeah.
so in the interviews, should we talk in purely English or we can talk in Hindi plus English? Like, मैंने ये ABC चीज की where I did something XYZ like this.
If you are going to speak in Hindi as well as English, you make sure that you tell the interviewer, I'm really sorry that my English is not that great. So I might switch to Hindi in between because I'm comfortable in that language. So please try and understand and don't mind. I am learning on my English vocabulary and skills, but only because I can explain my profile better in Hindi, I would like to tell you about the technologies in my comfort language so that I'm able to convey it better to you. So just mention that previously and then go ahead. There's no harm in doing that. जैसे कोई भी इंटरव्यूअर ऐसे नहीं होगा कि नहीं इंग्लिश में ही बात करो हमसे. आई मीन ऑब्वियसली दैट इज द केस इन इंडिया. बहुत जगह पे जहाँ पे अगर इंग्लिश अच्छा नहीं है तो एम्प्लॉयर्स मतलब बहुत दे गिव यू हार्ड टाइम. That ideally shouldn't be the case, but there's no harm in telling the interviewer that you have a 50-50 chance of getting into Hindi and English mixed. So just tell him or her that, I am not that great at English, so I might just switch to Hindi in between while I'm explaining my projects and my skill set so that I'm able to convey it better to you. Always think about a giving attitude. Whatever you're doing, it's for them. So that they understand you better, they are in alignment with your skill set, you are able to provide them better results. As long as it's for them, they are fine with you. You don't have to worry about it. So just mention it beforehand and you're good to go. All good?
Yes, got it.
Awesome. Okay, I think I'll just go for a last question. What are your goals? This is a very tough question to answer. I think we've already spoken about this, what our goals are, or this kind of aligns with the answer that we give for where do you see yourself in 5 years. What your goals are. You always have to differentiate between your career goals and your personal goals. Like I said, make sure that there's a differentiation between them. Make sure that the interviewer also knows that you don't have a mix of your career and your personal goals, because दोनों अलग-अलग चीज है. You need to maintain your personal life and maintain your career on different lines, parallelly but on different lines. So make sure that there's this differentiation. Make sure that you tell them what your personal goals are, that this is what I intend to achieve. Oh, sorry, you missed the explain your daily routine question. Can somebody please repeat that question? I lost track of the whole thing. Can you just tell me what the question was exactly?
I guess someone asked, if interviewer ask you, explain your daily routine.
Explain your daily routine. Oh, that was what it was. I thought it was in alignment with some other answer. Sorry, my bad. So if somebody asks you, explain your daily routine, mention what your daily routine is. There's nothing wrong. I don't know. I mean, I have never been asked explain what your daily routine is. But if somebody asks you, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I then get ready. Sometimes if I get time, I like to go for a jog. If I'm lazy, I just sit at home, go through my Instagram for like half an hour, have a good breakfast, leave for work/college, spend my time over there, have a good lunch in between, come back at home. If I've missed my workout in the morning, then go for a workout in the evenings, watch some nice TV, and go to sleep. And I like to go around partying and chilling on weekends. I mean, just put it forth whatever you actually do. Don't mention that I take bath for this long and I brush my teeth and this is what I have, etc. That is way too deep. But just mention what your daily routine is. There's no harm in saying that. And anything else that you want to mention in that aspect? Okay, I think that was satisfactory enough. Somebody's asked what to answer when somebody asks you what are your weaknesses. Try and make your positive point into your weakness. So what I normally do is that I mention, somebody asked me what are your strengths and weaknesses. So I first put forth my strengths. I say that I have great communication. I'm able to make anybody around me comfortable with me. I'm very easy to approach and I can talk to anybody who comes to talk to me. And my weakness is that because I am so outgoing, I tend to trust people a lot. Try and make it about your positive points and try and make it about your personal being. Don't try and put I'm lazy. ऐसे मत बोलना, गलती से भी नहीं बोलना. Even if you are very lazy, don't say that you are lazy because that is something that will reflect in your work ethics. So do not mention anything that would be a weakness in terms of your work. Like, I am not punctual. Don't say that. Even if you are not, don't say that. Make sure you go on time for your interview. Do not mention that you are lazy. Do not mention that you are not able to concentrate for a long time. So anything that will make the interviewer think that you might lack certain skills in terms of your work, don't say that. Just say put forth some weaknesses that might just come up as a personal thing. So I tend to trust people a lot. This is not something that would interfere with their work or with their work ethics. So mention some weakness like that you have. Let's say, for example, I don't know. What can be a personal? Does anybody of you have an example to give just to support my statement? Anybody has any inputs? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It takes a little while to think about our weaknesses. It's not that easy. Just make sure that you don't put.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can I just present? Ma'am, can I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
present my answer?
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I'm working on a project, I don't just try to meet the deadline. I rather
Mm-hmm.
prefer to complete the project well ahead of the schedule.
Okay.
My time management skills are excellent, and I'm organized, efficient, and take pride in excelling at my work.
Okay. That's perfect. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So you can say I have like good time management skills, but also at the same time, I tend to give more importance to the quality of work. So sometimes there might be there might be a few ups and downs in terms of my work, but then irrespective of that, I don't think I have any issues regarding my skills or anything. So that could be a positive point. Not something that I would use because I am not a punctual person. My time management skills are shit, and because I don't know. I mean, I don't have good management skills within me, honestly. So I don't normally use that. But if you're confident about that, definitely go ahead with it. Try and say something that is related to your personal life, not much to your work life. Let's say, for example, like I said, I trust people too easily. Um, What can be a good weakness for you to put forth? Let me think. Give me a minute. Okay, so I tend to socialize with a lot of people, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. You can say that. I tend to socialize with everybody because I want to make everybody feel comfortable. I might provide aid to somebody else before finishing off my own work because I feel like helping everybody out. So make it into a positive plus a negative thing. Like it is a very positive thing if you mention that I like helping other people out, but then also turn it into a negative just to be modest, because I love helping everybody out. There's sometimes disadvantages related to that as well, personally and professionally. So I feel that is one of my weaknesses along with a positive, along with a strength, that I like helping everybody out. You just say that. Come up with your own personal answer. It's fine. Okay, we can say that I like to do my work with detail. This is time consuming, but it gives the best result. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think Abhishek also said, you can say that I like to do my work with detail. I like to maintain 100% quality in my work. So it sometimes might take a little more time, but I ensure that I get the best results. You can say that. I tend to give extra attention to details of things. Just mention that. That's perfect. Okay, how do you answer how to answer something interesting about you or your hobbies? I don't have anything interesting about myself. Why would you say you don't have anything interesting about yourself? I'm sure you're a very interesting person, and I'm sure that you do something else apart from just focusing on technologies and looking for jobs. I'm sure you have a great family that you spend time with. You must be watching a lot of like TV shows and stuff. You must be into gaming. Even if you don't, just say one thing interesting about me, that I'm a very calm and composed person. It's really difficult to find somebody who's very calm and composed in these days when there's so many distractions around you. I am focused, and I apparently take interest into learning different technologies. It might come off as a very weird thing to say, that's a hobby, but it is my hobby to learn new technologies. Not everybody is that involved into improving their skills. So that is one interesting thing about me. And never think that you're not interested. Okay, this is like a very personal opinion from my side to you. Please do not think that you're not interesting. Every person has something associated with them that makes them interesting, because whatever you have, not everybody else has it. There is something unique about you, which is why you are you. Okay, so even if you feel that everybody else is doing so much stuff and I am not, it doesn't matter. What you're doing for yourself is itself is unique. So never think that I'm not interesting. You are interesting. Convert whatever you are doing into interesting. You're not going to say you're not interesting. Obviously you won't, but if, yeah, like I said, if the interviewer asks you what is something interesting about yourself, for somebody who's introverted, I'm assuming that you are kind of an introverted person and you don't like to socialize much, or maybe you don't go out for parties, or maybe you're not into sports and everything. So if that is the case, you can always say that I'm a very calm person, I'm a very composed person, and I just tend to think about my career and my skill set very primarily. Or what you can say is that I have a really fast thinking. You can say that. If you say that, I can think very fast on different lines. Let's say in terms of learning technologies, you can, sorry, I'm just going to come back to that again. Yeah, so you can say that this is what is interesting about me. I'm a very fast thinker. I think about what technologies I need to learn. I grasp them very well, and my mind starts working on another track right again. So that is what is interesting about you. If you are good at grasping skills, you can say what's interesting about me is that I can read one thing and just keep it in my mind forever. I don't have to redo anything again. That's what is interesting about me. I can just read once and keep it in my mind for the rest of my life. Just try and make it a little more fancy, so that it comes off very well. It's all about how you talk, man. It's not about what you actually do or say. It's about how you put it forth. Just make sure that you put it forth in a way that makes them feel that it's really nice or it's something very interesting. Even if you feel it's not, it might come off as very interesting to the interviewer. So go for it. Just say whatever your personal things are, whatever your personal attributes to you are, and make it fancy and put it forth. Okay, so you can talk about your favorite books as well. You absolutely can. You never know. There might be a book that your interviewer has also read, and you might be able to have a good chat with that person about it. And this might lead to an interesting conversation between you and the interviewer. So it might just go on the lines of going into an informal conversation and then, getting to know each other, getting comfortable with each other, and you just might end up getting the job. You can definitely talk about your favorite books. You can go ahead with it. There's no harm. Awesome. One last question. I'm just going to take last question because we are half an hour over our deadline. So I'm just going to take one last question and then sign off. Okay. Anybody has any question? Last one. Come on, make it count.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I want to ask you about group discussions.
Yeah, sure. Ask me.
Ma'am, actually, I got rejected many times from group discussion round. So, how to prepare for group discussion round?
Okay. So group discussion is going to be a completely different session. I will be conducting that session in maybe probably like 2 to 3 weeks of time when I have like enough material around me and when I am confident about taking that session myself, because I need to prepare a bit. But we will get into group discussions and we will try and be a little more active than what we were today. So I actually am very happy that I got a good amount of questions from you guys, and that many people out of you were actively asking me questions over the chat rather than just putting it through the chat. So I definitely felt that that was a plus point. From the next time, I will probably put forth a few rules for you guys, wherein you are not allowed to mute yourself, etc. So be prepared for that. But yes, we will definitely go for the group discussion. We'll have an activity revolving around it, and we will cover different tips and tricks around in a group interview once we have the activity done within ourselves. Is that okay?
Okay.
Awesome. So one last question, how do you wrap up? Like if the interviewer asks, do you have any questions for me? I was waiting for this, for somebody to ask me what to ask and wrap up the interview. Okay, so never ever let go of that question. It is a bonus point for you. If the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Yes, you always have a question for the interviewer. You are never going to say no. Even if you feel that you don't have any question for the interviewer, go fucking ask the question. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel that you don't have any question because they have answered you so well, etc., ask random shit about the company. Okay, just say, yes, I do have a question. How many employees are currently working in your company? That is like the most stupid question you can ask, but you do not let go of that question. You always have to ask them. Another good thing that I read a few days ago, and I tried implementing it myself as well, and I've heard it from a good friend of mine. If the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Try and say, yes, I have a question. So I am pretty confident about my skills and everything, but I just wanted to understand why was I shortlisted? Like, what was the reason for you to shortlist me and make me and select me for the interview? Just wanted to know. When you ask that question, the interviewer will tell you why you were selected. When they tell you why you were selected, they will put forth all the positive points about you. So when you end an interview on a positive note, the interviewer will remember what your positives are, and that will stay in their mind for a longer period of time. So Go ahead with it, and if you don't have any other question, just ask that person. I'm pretty sure and confident about my skill set, but just out of curiosity, I wanted to ask why I was selected for this interview. So they will tell you all the good things about you. So we went through your CV, we saw this, we saw that, we saw that you have done this and that. That is something that they will remember before ending the interview. And if they know that you have certain skill sets and they selected you because of that, they will keep that in mind and say, okay, why not recruit this guy? We know that he has all of these skills, so we should recruit this person. I think he or she would be a good person to go ahead with. So that is how you try and end it on a positive note. Keep yourself alive in the mind of the interviewer. That definitely helps. Okay, does that answer your question?
Also, we can
Yeah.
request feedback for our interview.
I'm sorry, you can request what?
Feedback for the interview.
I would say don't go for it, because in case if they have anything to say to you, if they have any criticizing points, you end up losing confidence in yourself. Like I said, you want to make sure that the interviewer will have positive points about you in your mind. So ask why they chose you for the interview, because when they chose you for the interview, they saw your positives. If for some reason there's something went wrong during the interview, they will focus on those points then. So if you try and ask them for a feedback, they will think about, okay, what the plus and minuses were. So they will think about the strengths, but they will also think about the weaknesses. If they feel that so and so questions did not go well in this interview, they might think that, this wasn't right or whatever. So you don't want them to think about anything that went wrong. You only want them to think about the positives, and make sure that you put that forth in front of them. So you can ask them why you were chosen for the interview. That will give them a positive perspective on you. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can just, if you have genuine questions, obviously go ahead with genuine questions. Like when they start telling you about the company, you can ask them genuine questions, like where, like whatever technology related questions or whatever you might have. So the company where I work right now, just giving you an example, the company where I work right now, it's called Solar City. So I was applying for a job of a solar advisor. So before getting into the whole conversation, the interviewer, he gave me a brief idea about what Solar City does. So at the end of the interview, I asked him, yes, in the beginning of the interview, you mentioned that you are doing so and so. Okay, point number one, that assures them that you were listening to them. Okay, that's a plus point on your side. In the beginning of the interview, you said so and so. I was just curious as to why XY was done instead of AB. That is just something that you say, just out of curiosity. I mean, if you have those curious questions, that is when you put that forth. If you genuinely don't have any questions, just go for this. Why did you choose me for this interview? But please don't just like interrogate the interviewer saying, why did you choose me for this interview? Huh? ऐसे मत बात करो. Just make sure that you put it forth in a nice, subtle way, and then go ahead with it. Okay? Okay, is it good to ask more than one questions? Absolutely. The more questions you have, the more time you can spend with the interviewer, the better it is for you to build up a rapport. So if you have more than one questions, go ahead with it. Just say, I have one question that will be answered. Sorry, I have another question. Sorry to take up your time, but I had another question in mind. This is what blah, 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 blah. So ask more than one question. There's nothing wrong with it. Just go ahead with it. There's no problem. That will just that will keep you in the interviewer's mind for a longer period of time. So you're all good to go. Sweet. Okay, so it's more than an hour and a half. I'm really sorry I have to end this session right now because it's been a little over our stipulated time period. But I really hope this session was insightful for you. I really hope whatever questions you had, I was able to answer them at least to a 50% capacity. And I would love to see you guys in the next session as well. Sorry. Like I said, I'll be conducting a group discussion session very soon. And I would like to see all of you in there. I would like to see you guys with much more confidence the next time, wherein you will interact with me more actively, because communication is all about interaction. Okay. So Next, for one rule for the next session, you are not going to keep your mics on mute. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. So do not keep your mics on mute for the next session. It is going to be a group discussion, and we will be having different activities in that case. And then we'll probably keep a longer session, for a longer period of time, maybe more than like an hour, 2 hours or so that we get enough time to cover everything up, and that we can get enough time to conduct activities and then get insights on them. Okay, thank you so much for your time, guys. I really hope this helped you, and a happy Dussehra to everybody. Have fun now, eat nice food. You're at your homes, ask your mom to make something nice for you. If you're not home, just cook something well for yourself and have fun. I will see you in like around 2 weeks of period. And do leave me any feedbacks if you have on the group. Let Kushal know how it went, and I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye guys. Cheers.